Oh, hello. Welcome to the studio. Miles here with the band EMEFE. Glad you're joining us today. Come on in, won't you? Today, we have an episode of EMEFE.ptx, a video podcast series where we open up our Pro Tools sessions and talk about our process. This episode is about our song, Afterword. We hope you enjoy. Here we are. We've made it to Afterword on EMEFE.ptx. We got the whole gang here today. We used a scheduling app and we made it happen.
Woo! Against all odds.
Cheers.
This song is the final song on our album, and it was originally called Forward Part 2 because it was extracted from the song Forward. Originally, Forward had a whole middle section before the saxophone solo that was a conga solo. And in the moment, we did it, and it was feeling really good. And I have to give credit to Hav for what the solo itself, but Jazz, I remember you saying, you advocating for the conga solo to exist, like to not be sort of chopped, or I remember you saying that it's something that has not happened a lot on EMEFE albums. There's been a lot of short solos and short bursts, but a long extended percussion solo is something that you advocated for. So we took it and made it its own track, and so glad we did it, because I feel like it's such a nice way to end this album. And Hav, you killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I sort of just want to play it right off the bat.
Let's hear it. Woo!
Yeah.
It sounds. God damn.
That's like
It sounds so cool.
That's the Hav lick.
Absolutely.
We did a session, like the original session where we recorded Forward. You had that solo, but then Hav, Doug, Jake, and we got together, and specifically once we decided this is going to be its own track, we re-recorded it, and you did, I think, a few takes. But do you remember, Hav, what you were feeling that day in coming into record? Because I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt it was an interesting thing because I wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? It wasn't like anything. And I remembered like Jazz's quiet confidence in this being a good idea in the way that jazz is
Confidence.
yeah, is able to do sometimes, where there's just kind of this like understated knowingness that you just kind of implicitly trust, and you're like, yeah, I'm this is the direction this session is going, and it sounds great, man. I also, like it's such the conga sounds that you put together, right? Like obviously, like I played the congas in the ring, but like the way they sound on the record and the whatever production you put around them, I think is so unique and so intense sounding. Like it sounds like that solo for me, which I think a lot of my solos like come out of like a very Ray Barretto place, like de las manos duras, which is like what they call them, like the hard hands, and like that's kind of the vibe. I feel like of a lot of my solos and a lot of my playing in EMEFE, it's kind of what comes through me. And the tone that you captured through the production, I just feel like is so cool and so unique, and also captures that to me, right? There's like an intensity to it. There's a harshness to it, which I love, where like so often I feel like you hear congas on different recordings and they always kind of sound the same, right? They sound the way that the congas sound in the room. But this has like an intensity and an aggression that I think is so cool and so sick.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure if it's a quinto or whatever that highest one is. There's a you can't tell where the tone ends and the distortion begins. It's like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's just I've never heard that before. It just sounds so cool.
Yeah, so you were playing three drums, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one, yeah, is that the quinto, the one that
Yep.
this one?
Yeah. Oh my God. It's wild. It sounds wild. It's
I feel
awesome.
like the this meter, if you were to look at it, it's probably it would
Slamming.
if it could like do a circle, a full other circle.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's supposed to be bad when that happens.
Bad
Sometimes.
in bad in a good way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad
bad,
meaning
bad in a
It's
good
bad.
like
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah,
bad.
real bad.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I one of the reasons I had the idea to let this be like a conga story was when I was a teacher, I was doing a lot of like hand drums with students, and I was trying to learn about hand drums, and I was just listening to a lot of like conga players, and but it's like all the records where like, and well, I shouldn't say this because I haven't listened to all of them, but like all the records I was listening to, none of them, it was just like conga sounds. It was never like conga plus, like driven congas. I never really heard that. So when the first time I think I heard this treatment of these drums it was just a really cool experience because I'd never heard congas sound like that ever.
I don't disagree. And I'm sure that there's some awesome, like super affected congas out there, right? That there's probably like a
Must be,
long
yeah.
tradition of it, you know? But I think it's pretty rare in even in like Latin music that uses congas, that uses a bunch of effects. I feel like the congas are rarely um they still sound pretty clean.
Mm.
Um
I
and
got to
man,
give credit to definitely like the antibalas method of production. The different people that have produced that music over the years definitely colored my perception of what congas could sound like. And this album was sort of an opportunity for me to dip into that bag myself. I don't think they distorted it as much as this, but yeah, there is like a sound blueprint there that I feel like they really, certain people in that camp really shaped.
Hmm.
And I'm sort of the resident EMEFE. We did this differently on a different record or different song historian. That's been my role on this podcast a lot in a lot of these episodes. And
Mhm.
I can't remember. I'm sure maybe Miles, you can think of an example of this, but I can't remember another example of a conga solo where the rhythm section is all the instruments are just kind of going. So I think that informs the decision to put the effect on it too, maybe consciously or subconsciously, to create this situation where the bed of the rhythm section is going, but we need the congas to be featured and to step out and not sound like a rhythm section instrument. So the distortion, the decapitator, and whatever else you did to it really helps with that. And whenever I think of conga solos in this band, I think of either like calls or breaks where it's just all about congas and drums or just congas. So I think that's really unique about this recording.
Yeah, the that's a great point. I wanted to show what the ingredients are of this, like what Hav is soloing on top of, because this Tempest track is in there. It's also in the original. It's in the song Forward, but in this song it is more prominently mixed, and so I feel like that is a nice bed for Hav to play over and play more sparsely, as a, as opposed to having to shoulder the groove with me. So there's that. There's shekere and Giancarlo on shekere. What else we got? We got the bass. And then we got drums. You can hear Hav in the background. And that's the bed, and then the sort of garnish on top, as usual, was Jake with the rhodes and farfisa. And Jake, specifically I remember when we were tracking, when you played this part, I feel like it was like a light bulb moment of like, it gave this song its differentiation from the part one song Forward.
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's so smooth.
It always makes me think of that band Knee Body. You guys remember that band?
Great knee body.
Yeah,
Very like Knee Body Road sound.
I want this. I just want this stem. I'll make 700 beats out of this.
So there's the rhodes, and then the farfisa comes in right here. It's an important moment, because then that's when Hav really starts going off.
Yeah.
And without that farfisa that comes in there, it kind of takes it to the next level, and it all kind of congeals in a nice way.
It's such a great dissonance instrument, farfisa. The tone lends itself to that crunchiness. It's easy.
Yeah.
Miles, did you, or I don't know if Jazz, you were part of this too, or Jake or Doug, but like the intro, like the way this song opens up, I find to be like an interesting creative choice. And I'm curious if that was obvious from the get-go or if it went through some iterations. Because it's very kind of like, it's a jarring, it's like in a very mellow place, and then we're just like in it, which I really, really enjoy. But I don't, that would not have been an obvious like decision to me, I don't think, remembering what this actual session was like and what we recorded.
Yeah. Let me play that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yes.
I think the main guiding principle was like that this song, I wanted it to feel like a bonus, not like the song before this on the album is Leftover, and that felt Jazz, you and I at some point talked about like that really feels like the end of the album, and this is like a little denouement. Is that it?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
a city word.
That is.
And so like I didn't want this song to just start. I was like, all right, I want it to come out of the rubble of the last song. And so Jake there was so much stuff. Like we did a few takes, and Jake, you really like played a lot of different stuff throughout them. So it was like there was a lot to work with as far as like coming out of that rubble. And yeah, and also going off of that Rhodes, those chords that you played, that to me felt like the sort of world shift moment of like, what? Oh, they're coming. Like the last song ends, you're like, wow, that was a lot, and then there's like a little, there's like, they're coming back. Oh,
Yeah.
And then the Rhodes chords hit, and then you're like, it's one of those things. So
It's the after party. Yeah. It's like welcome to the after party.
It's almost like it's been playing the entire record. Somebody just dropped the fader after forward, let the rest of the record happen, and brought it.
Yeah. That's a good fun way to put it. Yeah.
Students of the game that might be watching this, as somebody who has the most ugly, disorganized sessions in the world, me, just want you to take note of the markers that Miles has placed on the timeline and the labeling that Miles has done.
Talking like starting here.
Fabulous. That means something to Miles.
Don't forget about here.
Here, it means, but
making a marker labeled here is probably my most the thing I do the most on Pro Tools.
That's very funny.
It's short for something happens.
Something happens, or if I'm making an edit, like it's just I can't be bothered to write any other detail. It's because it's too fast. I don't have time to type anything except for here.
Maybe that's the name of our next record. Here.
We're gonna do forward, here, back.
Nice.
Trilogy.
Speaking of here and a marker that probably was made at some point, this conga solo builds up and then crashes down onto the horn break,
which we love. Oh, we love it.
Which we love, and we love the horn break.
Yeah, and it's in 4/4.
Yeah, so you can see here that it switches from 4/4 to 4/4 in italics.
That's the students of the game. You know what I mean? Please.
Yeah, it's really that's important stuff.
You can really feel the italic through this whole section.
It's also good
too.
that people know that the song is in C major, actually.
Oh, that's one small detail you missed, Miles.
Yeah, one little detail you missed.
Minor detail.
A major detail.
Oh,
I
That's
see
funny.
what you did there.
Oh.
bing, pow.
Everybody just turns off the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, in the horn break,
Let's look at it. Let's go to the tape.
the trumpet and the tenor play what is the guitar part of the song Forward, which sounds like this. Nope, not that one. This.
Wavy.
Trumpet and tenor, it's this. And the trombone is playing the other guitar part. Which sounds like this. And the Barry is just playing its own. And these are people playing these parts, I should say.
Wait, what?
We're using people now?
Jackie Coleman on trumpet, Ani Kislinger on trombone, and Lynn Ligamari on Barry. Jazz on tenor, obviously, but yeah, the Barry is playing its own part. So then all together. Add in the tempest.
And then we go to space, outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which-
And
wow.
they're kind
Yeah,
of quoting the head melody from original Forward as well. And that's that. Take it away, Jazz.
I think it's worth noting from a historical perspective, ever since 2012, 2011, when we would play in Washington Square Park, four horns and drums. Like there were many times where we would play like songs that I wrote and songs that you wrote, but then there were other times where we would just transcribe like a Fela guitar parts plus bass line and be like, okay, now you solo. Okay, now you
Mhm.
solo. Okay, now you solo. And for any four horn Afrobeat adjacent band that's out there listening to this, it's such an amazing, and you probably already do this, but it's just like it's an amazing exercise in arranging, and it's also an amazing like improvisational exercise to just like have four people improvising over this thing. So that thing goes a long way back with this band for sure.
Yeah.
And there's not there. It's interesting because I'm sure you have to think about how to orchestrate the guitar parts, but there's not. You don't have to do so much from scratch thinking about the actual harmonies between the horns because it's already laid out on the guitar. You know, in that way. Did you conceive of the Barry part as like a new bass line?
No, not really. Just like uh, I knew that the guitar parts I had that written out, and then it was more of like, okay, I want this Barry part to support the chords that are happening within those guitar parts in the right places, but then also just providing like the grit and just like a fun line in other places. So like, yeah, the Barry part kind of, I guess conceptually it's the bass part of this, but like no, it was never intended to be an actual bass part.
It almost makes it hard to tell that it's the other horns are playing the guitar part. It makes it sound like it's a whole new part, the Barry part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Is Miles
There's
talking?
sorry, no, I was thinking because yeah, when I'm writing jazz, you could speak to this too, but like one of the most fun parts of writing horn parts like this is choosing the times to like you have all the 16th notes, and if you write one part, then with the next you could fill up the next 16th note, and then it kind of creates this hocketing thing, but then also you can choose to not and choose to have space, and so it's all about like plugging holes here and there between all the parts, and sometimes all four parts come together suddenly and play the same line, and then they go back to their places, and it's just like candy to me. I love it so much. And I learned a lot of, I feel like, this from you, Jazz, because back in the day you used to transcribe the working day and night horn soli, for example, and like actually you helped me like deconstruct what actually is happening when a bunch of horns are playing at the same time and it sounds like a whole, and actually diving into the parts themselves.
Yeah, I feel like we all learned a lot about that, and we all pushed each other really hard early on. I feel like there's a lot of like motivation to learn that stuff like early. And sometimes we pushed too hard and we got upset. That's what I remember.
Yeah, well, it was very like, we have this show coming up, the let's play what's the Michael Jackson song? It's like
Oh
Burn
yeah.
Cisco out.
Yeah.
yes. It's
Yeah.
like let's play that like to a
Yeah.
T. Like arrange the
Yeah.
whole horn part
Yeah.
just like it is on the record, just purely because we wanted to like impress our friends and also each other, and like just
Yeah.
have fun immersing in music that we love.
There was no sketching. There was no, well, we kind of got the vibe of it. It was always
Yeah.
really intense.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do think though that it sounded, I mean, I guess not the most unbiased opinions, being someone who was in the band, but it did sound as good, if not better, than I think I've heard horn sections do those parts in my life. Like it really, I think that attention to detail, I wasn't necessarily, in it to experience the drama or the big feelings that came along with it. Uh, but man, it really it hits hard, and that attention to detail matters big time. I think that attention to detail mattered then because I think it just sounded incredible in the moment. But then I think that attention to detail, like you guys have been saying, also then informs everything that comes after it as well.
Roll the
And we did
tape.
that
Yeah.
a
Let's roll
lot
the
of
tape.
times.
Speaking of what comes after it,
Mhm.
I wanted to just show you, this is the the idea, the moment. Jazz texted me, would you want to go full throttle on a through composed chorus outro, flute, bass clarinet, strings even? And I said,
Full throttle.
yeah.
That's pretty great.
And Jazz, you sketched this demo, and I want to just play some of the demo and then play what it ended up sounding like, because even though it might be obvious for us, I feel like people might not realize the difference there. But here's some of the demo that you sketched out.
like I've entered an enchanted forest in like a mid-90s Japanese role-playing game.
Yeah, on floppy disk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Jazz, did you have that sketched out when you sent the text? Or once you got the
No.
like yes from the text, you were like, okay, I'm gonna go do this.
Yeah, the text was just a it felt like that part of forward the original song, like in the beginning, that kind of like chorus chord progression of the chords we've talked about before. It felt like just like there was some fertile ground there for some theme and variation, and yeah, so I ultimately just wrote all that stuff, and I'm sure you guys could hear like it's all just like things I played from the solo, just kind of like recycled. So literally every single thing that's played in that
I don't know.
mock-up is a reference to something that's played in the saxophone solo, and it's just kind of incorporated into this kind of theme and variations way.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, like everything is referencing the saxophone solo, every piece of information.
Oh, you dog.
You dirty dog. Yeah, no. I guess I kind of heard that, and it didn't even sort of till you saying it, it doesn't totally register. It was like, oh yeah, that is what all those lines are. Da,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're like da da da
Da-da.
da 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 da. Like
And
that's
my
all
personal
solo.
favorite, that da 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 da.
Yeah, right.
Ah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
forgot you play that in the solo.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's like some written out stuff. Cool.
Yeah, it's
Well,
all recycled.
wow.
Let me play this, a little bit of this.
Oh, it's crazy, Jazz. God damn.
Crazy. That's it.
We should put that out.
Should make a record of that.
We should put that out. That is sick. Can we do the? Can we do like the 10-year early, the 10-year box set? Wait, is that Hana playing strings?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Does she play
Yeah.
violin too?
Yeah, she played violin. I think she only played violin for that. I think we brought a viola, but it was kind of like I forgot how that happened. I think she only played. Well, I guess
There's a
the
track
stems will
labeled
tell
viola,
us.
but
Oh,
I
maybe
don't
she
know
did
if,
play it.
Wait.
well,
Oh, wait. You're saying. Wait. Sorry. Was there another player, or you're saying she just played cello and viola? Oh yeah, I
She
get that
she
too.
brought a violin and a viola, and the cello is just pitched down
And
one
when
of
you
them.
say bra, you don't mean a human.
Right, just she brought two instruments.
Instrument.
We
Yeah.
haven't been crystal clear throughout the
Just to
episode.
get clear about whether or not you were talking about inanimate objects or sentient beings. Uh,
here's the violins.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
That's wild.
played the cello part that was just violin pitched down, and then also I pitched down one of those to get this guy. So
Oh wait, so there is no cello.
No cello.
Oh, that's crazy.
the cello
Yeah.
is the violin pitched down.
You should have called me.
Yeah, you could have called Doug.
And I wouldn't have played as in tune as that.
And she also
Um,
did this track of Sol Ponticellos. Is that it? Soltasto?
I mean,
It's
sol
a
ponticello is a thing. Yeah. I just forget what it is.
well,
Automatio
Um,
part.
it sounds like this.
Oh, right. Yeah, on the bridge.
It's like a certain way of
The closer you get to the bridge, the more it doesn't know what to do, so other overtones will pop out.
It sounds like throat singing.
Right. Which is how throat singing works too.
and that sound like keeps going for like almost a full minute after this, or half a minute after the song ends. And fun fact, at the very beginning of the song Forward, I put in a little of that at the very, very beginning when there's the count off 1, 2, 3. I like took that from the end and put it at the beginning just for the
No.
crazy people out there keeping track. And shit, also got to shout out my dad, who really brought the high notes on this outro. Let me play some of that. Oops.
Wow.
You know what I'm thinking? They don't call them superchops for nothing.
For context, we'll drop in my dad's business card
yeah.
right here.
Man, it's so like Blade Runner.
It really is Blade Runner.
Yeah. Oh, there it
Um,
is. There it is. I guess the people at home can't see my screen, but you guys can see it.
Also,
Well,
shout out to Domenica Fossati on the flutes. Just a bit of that.
Yeah, I feel like I have a reputation for writing horn parts that nobody ever gets to breathe, and the flute part is definitely the part in this outro that I'm sorry.
You went
I'm s-
full 70s.
It's funny because flute,
Yeah.
like a flute, because of how you mic it and everything, and like you really can hear it. Like it kind of always sounds like when someone breathes on a flute, it sounds like they're kind of stressed out.
Totally.
So like
Yeah.
with a part like that, it's like, whoa. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the real flour on the cake. It's the icing flour on the cake.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the rice flour on the cake.
Those flute trills.
And then there's my cousin Evan Arntzen put clarinet, and also I pitched some of that down to make a bass clarinet part.
Oh wow.
You can make records with fewer tracks than this. Right. One can do
You
that.
can.
It doesn't make it not a record. If
Right.
it has fewer tracks.
Well, that's referencing the full throttle thing. Sometimes you go full throttle, you know, and that's
Sometimes
I would say
That's
EMEFE
just-
only goes full throttle. There's no
I guess I'll
because
just
when EMEFE doesn't go full throttle, then whatever is not full throttle becomes like a B-side,
Mm.
released on the special edition.
I will say that the first time I heard this, I was shocked.
Shocking.
The
Flute,
I was-
flute especially is shocking.
I was like, what of all the things to just kind of like realize that your friends have been working hard on something for that long, and then this is the thing that comes out the other end, and you had no idea that it was actually happening, is one of the craziest things that it could be. You know, like it's an absurd thing, but it's such a perfect ending to this record. It's really great.
yeah.
Similarly to what I think we should do now, I want to just highlight Giancarlo's shekere punctuation at the end of the very last note. This is what people are tuning in for. We're zooming way in here. The very last note of the whole thing, and I wanted to. He did a one of these, and we did like a bunch of takes of him releasing the shekere at the end of that, so it felt like there was like a little, but not an actual hit, just sort of like the residual, like from the motion of lifting like off of a note. That in itself creates a little punctuation, and he did it so well. Is this gonna work? No, hold on. It's very subtle, but it's there.
He's one of the great
It's
one of
right
these
there.
guys. You know, he's really good at that thing.
Yeah.
He's really good at that.
So, like he did, let's punctuate this episode.
Let's do it.
I just want to shout out Rogers Knopick for editing all of these episodes. He has like been a huge part of this whole thing. Without his edits, these literally wouldn't happen. And yeah, I much appreciated to Rogers. I know you're out there somewhere. And then just quick shout out to also Ben Elliott, who did all the animations that are in these videos and in each song video. And Collected Works, who made the logo and all the album art. That's also part of all of this. And at some point, maybe we'll do an episode of this where we talk exclusively about mixing, but Shifty mixed this whole album, and that is like, a whole other world that we haven't really dipped into, but like all of the sessions we're playing here are the pre-mixes, and then he totally like transformed all of it into something that's maybe a bit more listenable. But
Think about the ask. Think about the ask.
Think about the number of tracks.
It's crazy.
And
There was
also
another
Chris
track.
Geringer, who mastered it. Shout out. And I would like to thank. Now we're many years into this band, and I want to thank the four of you for your unwavering commitment to like this thing, this project, and even this album. And also I've been listening to our music for the last few. Oh, my dog wants to be a part of this too. I've been listening
yeah.
to our older
Perfect timing.
music and thinking about how y'all have been so committed to this whole thing for so much of our like adult lives so far. And it's not lost on me at all. I love all of you very, very much. And I felt I need to say that out loud.
Thanks.
Right
We love
back
you,
at you,
Miles.
Miles.
Love-
Yeah,
love
right back at
everyone.
you.
We all love each other. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this Zoom right now.
Do any of y'all have any reflections on this album and this moment that you want to share? Not mandatory, but any song, your favorite song, anything.
I'm kind of blown away when like we like parted ways like in 2016. It was like I was just like, oh, this could just be the end of that period of making this music, right? And I was actually like, made peace with that because because the music, I like the music that we made so much, and the friendships were going to be something that I had no doubt would continue. And I just want to say I feel very personally blessed to have this thing back in our lives. One, because I just love the art so much. Like I love the music that we make so much. And then I love spending time with this incredible group of people. And it's just kind of a wonderful excuse to get together. And we're getting together to do something that I think is just, a net good in the world. You know what I mean? Like we play these shows and like people, like the joy in the audience is palpable. I talk to people after the shows and there's just kind of like this giddy excitement and energy, and it like reflects perfectly how I feel about all this stuff. And I just feel continuously blessed to experience that. So I appreciate you guys a lot. And Miles, like commitment and hard work, you put all of your heart and soul into this stuff. So like immense gratitude for the work that you do.
Oh yeah.
Tony.
Oh yeah.
We should have had Tony from the first episode, man. That's how you get the views.
Yeah, that's how we get views.
He's really cute.
Yeah, I think a couple years ago when we sort of were deciding to get back together and wondering what the move forward was. Whoa.
Hey,
Whoa.
come on.
That's kind of crazy actually.
That's why I pushed for the album title.
Obviously making an album was the most important thing, I think, emotionally to like accomplish. And but who knows what it was going to sound like. And I think it's just amazing. Agree with Ha, like just grateful, Miles, that you found the inspiration again to like really be that steam engine for this music. And yeah, the record, it sounds pretty much exactly like I think what we all would have hoped it would sound like. And excited to do it again. Hopefully we can do another one very soon and just keep making really fun music that we can all be really proud of, because that's a great thing. A lot of people play music. and a lot of people make records, and not all of them are actually really proud of the stuff that they get to make with their life. So it's a special thing, to not only make music that you're proud of, but to make music that, people really get a lot of joy out of. And that's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. And we'll get that car commercial.
Mm.
Get it?
That's why we do what we do.
That's why we do it. Yeah.
That car commercial.
We're gonna get that Hyundai ad anytime now. Any day now. No, it is actually possible. I shouldn't put it in. If you see us in a Hyundai ad, don't think that.
That was the plan from the beginning.
That was the plan from the beginning. Exactly.
One last shot.
Specifically,
back in Washington Square Park, right? Transcribing failing guitar line. Someday
We'll get that.
Someday we'll get that car commercial.
Yeah, someday we'd get that Hyundai, like we always said.
I don't think I really appreciate how long we worked on this album, because everything feels like to me at least, it feels like we recorded it last week. It doesn't feel like it was this long, protracted process. And I don't know. Miles was with the material more than any of us were, but it didn't have that. It didn't have the arduousness to it.
What's the date? What's the post date on that first session of the jams?
Which is so crazy that it started from jams.
Yeah, in the Fast Bump episode, I played a demo of the original guitar part from 2011. But
no, I know that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, if for those who don't understand, there's always going to be pieces of anything that most artists make that are going to be like, well, there was that one thing I did like in 20 years ago, and I actually thought it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like that session when you guys all got together feels like the breaking ground, if you will,
Yes.
As prospectors, it was like, I think we found some gold.
February 23rd, 2023.
Yeah,
but
okay.
The writing of a lot of this stuff, or a few of it, was 2020, and then it doesn't feel like it's been 5 years really, or even 3, but
well, it's 2. Yeah, it feels like 2 years, right?
Yeah.
February 23. That makes sense. That feels good. Feels good.
So look out, February 2027.
This is the ultimate, in my opinion, example of how it's hard to describe what EMEFE is to people when they ask you what it is. What bands are you in? What kind of bands are you in? What's your band? And then I say it. I always say horns when I talk about this band, because I'm like that to somebody who doesn't have any context. That's gonna be the thing that makes them the most interested in listening to it. But this record is the ultimate, listen to it and you're in the club of getting what this thing is that we do. And it's the same with the live show. So, anyone who's been to an EMEFE live show, on the surface, you could describe it. It's like it's a band you dance to and there's horns. That's all I can come up with. And then you listen to the record and it's just so rich with stuff to chew on, and just interesting moments and interesting choices. And you don't have to have a depth of knowledge of music to love it. Or if you do have a depth of knowledge of music from any standpoint, from a musical theory standpoint, from a production standpoint, from an instrumental standpoint, there's also tons of stuff to chew on there. So EMEFE is this really big, all-encompassing, gives you there are just so many avenues through which you can enjoy it. But you have to take the step in through the door of listening to the music or going to the show before you get it. I can't describe it to you and really be like, yo, it's a this band, and then you're immediately like, oh, okay, I will check it out because of that. So that's all. When people ask me, that's all I can fall back on is horns. That's got to be enough for you to check it out. You know me, horns, but it's obviously it's way more than that. So this is a great. This is a total MFA album. This is a total like we move straight forward into what we are, what we can do. We're not experimenting in a direction that's out of character with this record. We're not doing something that's overly simple. We're just making the distilled modern day version of our band. And I think that's what is so exciting about this record. It's like it is a real identity stamp of where the band is now. Like post everybody having families and moving all over the country and having a million different bands and jobs and different things pulling them all over the place. The fact that we can still come together and put this thing on the musical world that's like, yo, MF is still here doing exactly what we have always done so well. So I commend all of you for that. And I commend everyone who was involved in making this for that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
found. Yeah. Go ahead,
I was
Josh.
just going to say that. So just to go on that in terms of process, I was thinking about this thing. I'm up in Blue Hill, Maine. Hana's doing this like artist residency thing at Haystack, and I'm driving her like out to this amazing. Do you guys know what Haystack is? It's like this artist. It's like a craft school, and so they have these classes, and it's this really. It's like on the ocean. It's like this ridiculously picturesque place, but like I need to drive her like back and forth to this class every day, and so like I've been getting like a little bit annoyed about it. And then this morning I was thinking, I was like, why am I annoyed about this? Like, my life is fucking amazing. And I just get to drive these like main island roads every day. Like, why not just be grateful for that? So I was thinking about how like gratitude is free and it's easy once you just kind of like let it happen. But like what we do most of the time is we like construct ways of it not getting through. Like we find ways not to be grateful that we make for ourselves.
Mm.
And there are a lot of strong parallels, I think, with like a creative process. And I think that for us as a band, we've found this way of being, I think, really productive in this really like genuine way, or in a way that's very true, like Doug was saying, that's very true to like what we all kind of know the band is. It's not easy to describe. It just is this thing. And so I feel like the lesson for anybody who's watching that like makes stuff is there's no right or wrong way of figuring out how to like remove those blocks to become like to let that thing happen, to let that gratitude or that creative process happen. But just keep trying, and eventually you're gonna find, or maybe it'll find you, like this way of it, just like you remove those barriers and all of a sudden this thing is just moving through you. And that's what this record feels like. It feels like it's the first time where we weren't like really pushing something or like making something happen. The thing was happening and we were allowing it to happen. And that's my biggest lesson, like moving through this experience. And then hopefully, or like very optimistically, I feel like looking to the future, we've now seen that like this is a proof of concept for us creatively, and we can use this as a model for continuing to work into the future, even though everyone's living in different places and everyone has different priorities and all that.
And what a beautiful story after COVID. Because
Mm.
as a musician who couldn't play live, and it was really practically difficult to collaborate with people. And we came up with all these different ways of remotely collaborating or learning to produce content and music in our own ways by ourselves. all of a sudden we had all the skills that we banked doing all of that, and all the patience and appreciation that we banked being separated, and then we came together and we had these great sort of subsection sessions that resulted in this after a long process. And I was thinking about this yesterday because I make so much content by myself now that I almost don't, it's almost like a muscle that I don't even remember how to flex sometimes, collaborating. And doing this, just hearing from Miles, hey, I'm thinking about doing a session for this next week, and we're going to do it this way. And these are the people that are coming, and this is a demo of the song we're going to try. That was just such a thrill for me after feeling very isolated and feeling like, I have to kind of rebuild my understanding of being an artist from scratch. I always felt most comfortable making music with you people in the room together. And to get back to that as a starting point to get to this, it's just something to be extremely grateful for, to go off what Jazz is saying. I'm extremely grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good.
I feel also compelled to thank or acknowledge and thank all the people who have listened to this band since 2016 or so, because that was a big ingredient that led to this moment. Was just like, we had this band, and it was everything to us. And at a certain point, you don't, you believe, we believed in ourselves. I'll just speak for me. I believe in myself. But the music industry and the life of a musician really requires you to believe in yourself a lot. And that's like, that fuel is what gets you, that will sustain you through many playing to empty rooms, or putting out a song and not many people hear it, or from those parts to the parts that are like obvious successes, and successes in a slight limited sense of the word, but like, you can believe in yourself so much, but then there is just like getting feedback from others really helps, and it helps rejuvenate you to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I like, even if there's one person in the room who really loved your show, that can be enough to just like refuel and like, all right, yeah. But for this band, we played to so many people over the years, and we've gotten so much feedback over the years, but really like seeing that people were listening to us even after we had stopped making music together, and that number grew and grew over the years, and so many people reaching out online and like covering our songs, and like school bands playing Sunspat and Stutter, and like all that stuff is like, it was too hard, too difficult to like have this band not exist anymore. It was like, this is being kept alive without us, and now it was just set up for us to step back into it. It was like, there was no tension there. It was just like that little sense of feedback that like, hey, some group of people really liked our weird band, and shit, and when we get back together and make another song and have fun doing it, like, there's people that like it and will listen to it, and who cares how many or how little it is, but like, just it affecting other people, it feels so essential to life and like existence. And to me, it's like, it is my life. Like, now that we've broken this seal of making this album, it's like, and we're all older and in different phases of our lives, like, now it's like, oh, we can just do this forever, and like, I don't care about the ups and downs of the music industry. It's like, if we can do this, then we're good. Then I'm good. So
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well said.
We're insulated we're insulated from it, from the nonsense that comes.
Man,
with
I think that like the chances that we all would have made some music together are probably pretty high, regardless of what happened with listeners. But I just do think that the listeners increasing and just like seeing that feedback after we broke up was definitely what I think really was like, okay, we should all make music together again, and it should be a mefe. I think it's
Yeah.
like the thing, you know. I feel like I do think if it had really felt like it fell off and like we just no longer existed, I still think there's a good chance we would have made some music, but who knows what it would have been.
But yeah, because we.
The point is, you guys, you made it happen. If you wanted more of our music, you're why you're getting more of it. Your fault. I think we should do like a super cut of all the ridiculous, funny covers we've had now the last few years.
No, you're not about to.
I got it all queued up, but we don't have to.
Oh my god.
nice
Got
transition.
Sunspat Guitar Hero. That's a personal favorite. Like that one happened.
I really think Sunspat and Stutter were the songs that kept the band in people's lives.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely
Yeah.
part of it, but you can't leave out. I mean, I can tell the craziest. I think the craziest story.
I know what this story. I was gonna.
I mean, this story is so insane. So I play in that band Magic City Hippies. Has been a collaborator with us for years. I now play with them. We were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and long day, lots of fun activities, dancing, hanging out. We end up we're partying from 10 a.m. We end up on Frenchman Street at the end of the night. It's midnight or 1 in the morning or whatever. And we're just like, all right, well, maybe it's time to wrap it up. And we're sitting at the one of these bench tables outside of like the main strip. We're actually right in front of like Blue Nile, where EMEFE had played multiple times for Jazz Fest stuff and
some of our best shows.
So there's lots of memories there. And so we're sitting on this bench, and the guys are we're just hanging for a minute, and all of a sudden we hear dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, what? And the guys are like, dude, is that a mefe? And I'm like, we're just thinking a car must be driving, listening to the record, like, which would already be crazy and cool, or like the record's playing somewhere or whatever. And then I look over and I realize in Maison, which is one of the bars like right next to the Blue Nile, that is another music venue, there is a full-on New Orleans brass band playing Do Your Dance. And we all lose our freaking minds. I run to the bar, I run to the
You stopped the show.
No, kind of. It was a little bit there.
That's me.
I literally run over, and first of all, there's the God, what the frick is the name of the security guy? And I'm like, dude, I'm like trying to run in, and he
he punched you in the
he strong arms me like, I need your ID. I'm like, yeah, like, dude, this is my band.
He's like, I'm the keyboard player of EMEFE.
And then I run, and then I get in, and then it's like me and the guys, and we're all just like holding each other, like arm in arm, just like freaking out. And I'm kind of just yelling like, that's my band, like at the guys, like at the band. And they're just very confused.
Did you talk?
You're taking videos and just being like, dude, I was like, how do you know? I'm like yelling, how do you know this? And then it was, first of all, it was fantastic. I mean, you guys can all imagine what it was like. It was a killer, like more horns than we had. It was like, I don't know, 6 horns or more. They were doing it. It wasn't like it was more of like a New Orleans, like there were 2 drummers and keys and percussion, and it was great. It was awesome. And I must have the video. I can probably drop this video somewhere. So maybe you'll see it right here. But then the song ends. And I think I like went, the trombone player was like the closest to me on the stage. And I think it was like, dude, how do you know that song? And he literally looks at me, he goes like, it's in the chart.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, that's
Easy
it.
answer.
That's it.
It's in the chart.
Do your dance as a standard now?
It's a standard for
Yeah.
Like right here.
I think they're called Brachiosaurus Rex or something. I don't know.
Cool.
I did eventually, and then I left,
right.
and then I came back when they finished, and I talked to the keyboard player, and it still took a while for him to get it. I was like, dude, that's my band. And he's like, yeah, bro, that's my band. Like, no, like I am the person on the recording of the thing he's just playing. He was like, oh my God. Anyway, it was good. So that was quite a wake up. I mean, whatever. That was just, yeah. I mean, that's it, right?
Well, it's phenomenal
That's why we do
band
it.
music. It's phenomenal concert band music.
Yeah,
Which
totally.
so many parts to do.
I mean, there's also like, I don't know, there's also so many random, like I had a friend of mine who was in Paris and it was like the World Cup and like they were just playing Good Future at a bar, like after the World Cup to party. And
Yeah,
he took a
that's
video and was just like, is this you guys? And I'm like, yeah, like just random, very random things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bars and like restaurants that I've heard
Yeah, I
listen
mean,
to Good Future to like wrap up and clean up and stuff like that too.
my brother-in-law worked at a ski lodge in Vermont, and he would play the music all the time. And he said it was so annoying that people would stop him from working to ask him what it was, that he just put up a sign that was like, "It's EMEFE." What you're hearing?
That's amazing.
People ask him, he just points.
Sign.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
funny.
I think that is such a huge part of this. Because I think you're right, Jake. I think that like we like the interpersonally, right? Like the friendships are so strong, but also like the mutual respect and the love of each other's craft is so strong that we would have, I think we would have continued making music to some extent or another for a long time, even if no one was listening.
Yeah,
We did.
exactly.
We all did.
Yeah,
And,
no, that's
true.
also true. But
That's
I just
true.
mean all
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
But I think that like, yeah, just the response that it gets from people, both like the live shows and the recorded music, it's always a little bit it's not surprising in the sense that like I understand it has the effect on me, so I'm not surprised that it has the effect on other people, but it's surprising in the sense of like oh, it is having this effect on other people.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's also wild, like, I remember that first show that we played in Brooklyn. That was like the first time we were headlining since we did it. And like Miles asked the question, like, how many people have seen EMEFE before? And I was like, how many is this your first EMEFE show? And it was
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no.
And everybody I talked to after that show, like started listening like 2017, 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
It's just it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing to create something and then have staying power and have people be creating emotional connections to it without you being there, without your knowledge. It's a wild thing.
And the first show I ever played with Stuart Bogey, there weren't that many people in the crowd, but after the show, it was a great show. And afterwards, we went over to the merch table and got the mailing list, and one person had signed the mailing list, and he was like, "Hey, that's a success.
Yeah.
We moved one person to stay in touch with us. Then that's a good night when you really think about it, with with everything that we're all dealing with.
Gratitude. Yeah.
So to echo what Jazz said earlier, for anybody watching who's creating anything, just don't stop. You can don't stop. Stop when you need to. But stop when you want to, when you need to. But there's a lot of time, and you never know how long something will take or how quickly something happens. The point is that you're just showing up and giving your all to the thing, and that's all you can do.
I think it's a wonderful place to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like a it's not we're not all like, you know.
Well, we're breaking up again, right? I thought that's what
This is it.
about.
Yeah.
See you in 4 years.
Let's see.
We're
Yeah.
never really back together. I gotta go.
All right, I love you all very much.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Take
Take
care.
care.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.